Dream Weaver.
Exclusive.
Dream on.
Hello and welcome to another player profile and projection here on Talkin Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. We're going episode a day every day until opening day. You guys know that we've been doing it. You've been tuning in. We appreciate it. Also appreciate you subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, all that stuff. What a big one. Lucas Allen Weaver, the law. Sixth man, long man, the man.
Seventh man?
Jake?
I fought the law, and the law won. Luke Weaver turned his 3 starts with the Yankees last year into a $2 million contract with a bunch of incentives for starts, appearances, in whatever role Luke Weaver appears for these Yankees. And yeah, I think there's some interesting conversations, potential questions listed here. How long of a leash does Luke Weaver get? He hasn't had a ton of success at the major league level. He's got a career 5.14 ERA. At all of his other stops besides the Yankees last year, he got knocked around. 97 innings for Cincinnati last year, a 6.87 ERA.
Wow.
5 appearances with Seattle, 13.1 innings.
Who's counting?
6.08 ERA. His last, somewhat productive season for what you're looking for out of this role. In 2021, Weaver had 13 starts to the tune of a 4.25. So, when you're talking potential 6-man, if you think you could tap into something like that. And the Yankees clearly think there is something, whether that's just throw that cutter. We know the Yankees and Matt Blake have a little bit of a cutter history. Or Jim, I know you try to get guys off their four-seamer. Give me a little run. And Luke Weaver, his four-seam usage came down last year, but he still throws that pitch a lot.
Does he? I haven't gotten into the mix that much yet.
Oh.
I've been reading a lot about his early days as a youth.
Sure. Florida boy.
Yeah, I grew up a Rays fan, it says. So.
Land, Tallahassee,
Lie.
Seminoles.
Lie. Luke Weaver's the best, so I didn't appreciate all the slander you threw his way.
Didn't slander. Only facts.
Well, you're just not butter knifing out the bad.
Okay.
I'm interested in the contract first because I think that will lead us into how the Yankees use him in some ways or another. He's got a funky contract. It's 1 year, $2 million deal. There's an option for the team, $2.5 million for next year. I think that's all the league she needs if he's halfway decent.
Right.
We've seen Sessa, Shreve, cockroach themselves around because the Yanks knew if we keep him, we get to pay that cheap arbitration price next year. So if he's like a big league arm, I think he's got leash just because they can tap into that $2.5 million, which is pretty cheap if he's decent.
For the innings he might be able to throw.
And can do the role that like Sessa did.
Right.
And some of these guys have done. Who was after Sessa? Who am I blanking on?
There's like a pre-Loizaga breakout year.
Abreu, maybe I'm thinking of Abreu.
I think Abreu's here.
Litke.
Yeah, Litke, even his last year was similar. They used him 3 innings at a time, kind of long. So I think that's a pretty cheap price tag if he's good. Now, if he's awful, obviously, there's no leash. But he has a lot of incentives where if he does become a starter, he gets $50,000. Once he hits 10 starts, he gets $50,000, and then for every 5 starts after that, he gets $50,000 extra. Or if he becomes a reliever, once he appears in 45 games, he gets $50,000, and then $50,000 for all 5 appearances after that. How many games did Litke get into, or how many games did Hamilton get into last year? Can you look that up for me?
I can look those up. There's also escalators on the 2025 salary, so it can get up to $3 million rather than 2.5 if he goes 100 innings. If he repeated Mike King's usage last year, not role, but usage, did some starting, did some relieving, that was 49 games, that would have triggered $150K bonus. And then I'll look at Lucas Litke.
Yeah, it's not that much. So they like the deal he's on for the talent. He was a first-round pick way back by the Cardinals. Cashman loves his former first round picks.
Sure.
That's like, in the ingredients of what we search for, Like I like candy that's peanut butter in it.
Right.
If you toss me a new candy bar or something I've never heard of, but it's peanut butter based,
Sure.
I'll give it a shot. That's like when you call up Cashman, you're like, hey, I got this kid, he hasn't performed, but he was a first round pick. He's like, give me him.
Right.
I want to see if I can tap into that. Doesn't matter if someone might have been drafting poorly. No, the assumed price was great.
A lot of people like talent, and I'm more interested in. I would love that those final 3 starts with the Yanks, where he was like openly standing on the top step, like talking to Cole, literally doing the video of like the cutter coming out of his hands. You wonder how much that stuff actually matters. Like, was he his clubhouse presence with Matt Blake? How long has he been on Brian Cashman's radar? Probably since the 2011 draft, when he was drafted in the 19th round, but he passed. He went to college. He went to Tallahassee, Florida State. And yeah, I mean, I wonder how much control he is in of his role. It's going to be a lot of injuries,
availability,
right?
just being available, and then when he gets his opportunity, not squandering it. And that's all the control. He can't really control the health of the other guys, but it will happen. Oh. I think Zach's right.
Mm-hmm.
He gets fucked. He will get starts.
He will get starts. He got 3 last year for the Yanks. He had 25 starts last year, 123 innings. So he's stretched out pretty significantly. I would love to see him become our mop-up man. That's something that's constantly spinning in my head of like, hey, why hasn't our team truly had that guy in years? Like pushing a Litke to 50 pitches here and there. Ideally, this Yankees offense at the top of the lineup, as we've leaked into spring training games, has shown just that little bit of ability you hope they have. If the Yankees could win blowout games, Jim, this was something you originally stumbled into. Give me white flag Luke Weaver shutting him down for 65 pitches in the final 3 innings. No need.
I like it. I mean, I believe in. It's kind of crazy what the Yankees do, because anyone that has baseball savant can kind of do what they do in a way. Not totally. I'm not being crazy
literally
here. But like he came over and they were like, let's ditch that curveball. Yeah. Want to know why? Because hitters slugged .578 off his curveball with an expected slugging of .718.
Right.
And he threw that all year until the last 3 games of the season. Actually, he did bring it back for the very last game of the season a little bit, but like right away, they were like, get out of here. Also, the changeup, also the sweeper, nah, don't need that either.
Yeah, the only partial counter to that would be that all of his pitches got hit, except the cutter.
Yeah, but
like the curveball had the second lowest, or had the lowest batting average.
But the .718 expected slugging means that thing was getting smacked.
Right.
Like crazy. Because the next highest is like 400. The fastball got hit really bad.
Sure. I mean, his slider had an actual slugging of 679 last year.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. A lot of only one of his pitches had a slugging.
So let's cut
below the 5.
They said, "Hey, you're not what's the opposite of pronation? It's there's a term for it, and I always forget it.
Determination.
No, it's
coronation.
supination. He's not a supinator. You have to say it like that. He's a pronator.
The look your eyes had when you said that.
Supinator. Yeah, he can't do breaking stuff.
Sure.
I can. What Rob can't do." Sirocco in our office. He can't pronate. I asked him once. You can't either?
Struggle, yeah.
But you have a nice 2-seam now.
Yeah, but it's like my whole body. It's not just my arm motion.
If we're talking like real pitching and deceiving.
Yeah. So just know if you're pronator or supinator. All you got to do is throw a blitz ball once and you'll know.
Right.
Like just naturally, which way does it go? Oh, there you go. And then maybe that's why he doesn't have a 2-seam, because you kind of need that action with the 2-seam, and he throws a 4-seam fastball, and they're trying to change it into a cutter, or maybe he should have a 2-seam. Yeah, he should have a 2-seam. I don't know. No breaking balls for him.
That's a pronator.
Yeah,
He should have a cutter.
no, he's good at pronate, or he's bad at breaking his wrist this way. He's bad at throwing curveballs and sliders.
Okay.
They're not great. They get banged around. So yeah, do a 2-seam. He should have a 2-seam. I agree. The 4-seam got hit, and then the cutter
You're
and the
a
changeup.
2-seam pitching coach.
Everyone likes it, but if you have a cutter, then having a sinker or 2-seam is natural. That's the X factor, and it seems like the fastball gets knocked around anyway. So, also it'll be very interesting to see his mix if he's a reliever and then starter, because like if he goes to the bullpen and opens up as our long man, which barring injuries, that should be what's happening, because he can't go to the minors, so he's going to be in the bullpen. I hope you're going through the rotation once. If you go 3 innings and you're good at that, so 9 batters, maybe you let a couple walks,
11
hits, 11, 12. You usually can get away with throwing just 2 pitches the first time through. But does that limit him then by keeping the other pitches fresh when he becomes a starter? So you saw Mike King go to the bullpen and actually learn a bunch more pitches. He had 2 pitches that X factored each way for a total of 4, and that helped him when he went to be a starter. So that's kind of what I'm interested in watching him, is like, what is he doing in spring, which has already happened by the time it's coming out. And then if he's in the bullpen, is he just going to be going cutter and fastball? Or is he going to try and bring these back?
You're going to need a off-speed pitch. I mean, he threw his changeup 20% of the time. There's going to be off-speed pitches, because I don't think you could be just cutter 4-seam or even cutter 2-seam.
Don't tell Lance Lynn that.
Basically a slider.
His cutter might be the same.
I have no real expectations for Luke Weaver.
Oh, I think he's going to Aaron Small us. Luke Weaver will win my heart.
Already has won my heart.
I don't know. You've kind of been like out on him this whole time, it feels like.
No, what's your expectations for him?
I think he's going to get like 10 to 15 starts.
Okay.
And he's going to be a mixed bag. But there's going to be a stretch where I like him.
Okay. I already like him.
Where I'm like, ooh, keep him around. And then we're like, nah.
Yeah.
He will get starts. Everyone gets starts.
He will get starts. Everyone gets starts. How many guys started last year for the Yankees? Trivia, Jim.
13.
12, including a Jimmy Cordero opener.
13. Spot on.
12.
13 guys started a game.
12.
12 including.
12, and that includes...
Damn, that's close. That's close. That's fair.
That was close.
Super close.
Thought I had it.
Ian Hamilton, 3 opener starts, too. You want to see your dream, Weaver.
12 people started in 2019.
Your dream Weaver situation would be you see him throwing a 2-seamer in spring training. You're pitching coach John Boy.
Yeah, I'd like to see him have 3 pitches.
Okay.
Like 5 is too many for what we need him to be this year. And kind of for his career. Like, focus on the good.
Let's find 3.
Yeah, let's find 3 pitches. If the cutter is a little more like, you can get away with cutter, 2-seam, changeup. Like that's a mix people have.
He, in the spring training game yesterday, as you record this, so the first game that was on, threw 25 pitches, 4-seam changeup, cutter, threw the curveball once.
A mistake.
Twice.
I watched that game. I didn't notice he was on. I was doing a lot of home renovation.
I noticed he was in the game, but I did not take in any.
You know what the other thing here that goes for Luke Weaver, it goes for like Cody Poteet, it goes for a couple of the other. Identify yourselves. Like right now, I just see like
he's NPC video game.
Right.
Pitcher.
That's what I'm saying. I need identifiable traits here.
Nah, I mean I kind of like
actually. Luke Weaver does have one. He'll speed up or slow down his delivery a little bit when he's in the windup.
Okay.
Like he gets a little juice going And sometimes he rushes into it, and other times he kind of eases into it.
I'm taking a look at the curveball he threw in his first spring outing. I'm going to tell you about it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was a nice pitch. It was a get-me-over first pitch curve, which I think that's when you can throw those. But he did speed through his delivery, like you just said.
Yeah.
There was no one on base. I think his first pitch of the inning, but it was basically like a slide step. He did it again. That was a bad pitch.
He does like the slow, looks like how you picture a traditional starting pitcher go out of the windup, and then he kind of turbos, yeah.
Yeah. What was his results? It looked like he faced
He's a stud.
Davis Schneider.
My ace.
Flew out to Judge.
Mistake.
Got Kirky out. Got Escobar out.
Oh, I kind of don't like his delivery. That stutter has happened every time, and it's not great.
A little rushed.
Let me look at this four-seam fastball. This is a four-seam fastball called strike.
Scouting report.
Rushed again. That might just be his delivery. That was nice low fastball.
Okay.
He threw two curves. I think that's not a good pitch. Get me over. If you plan on using it as a get me over pitch for a guy you think might not swing, that's fine. The change looked good there. Actually the change looks really good, Jake.
Okay.
I just watched two
He
change
likes
ups.
throwing it.
A little Marinaccio in his face. Oh, that
See,
freaked
that's
me
the
out.
problem.
Between him and the code, he weirdly has the most noteworthy face.
I guess a little Marinaccio.
A little bit.
One and the same.
It's just all there. Man, his baseball savant last year. It's not as good as the DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure you guys are going to the DraftKings Sportsbook because they are giving you a fantastic offer. You go bet on some of the NBA action. Up to $1,000, you will get a bonus bet back in the same amount of the original bet if it does not hit. Minimum deposit of $5. Use code YANKS. Play their daily stuff if DraftKings isn't yet available for gambling in your area. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code YANKS and get a no-sweat bet. That's promo code YANKS only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
I know this isn't a random video. He really pulls the string on this changeup he threw in his first spring appearance. I'm liking it.
Okay.
This one's
okay, yeah.
He threw four. I watched all four. I liked it. That one was a little high.
You know what I liked about that one, Jim?
The swing and a miss.
It was 81 miles per hour.
Yeah.
His average changeup speed last year was 86 miles per hour.
Yeah, that was
so let's pull a little more off, Luke.
That was the slowest. That was the slowest one he threw here, but then 82, 83, 84. So yeah, he's got to slow that down a little bit. The cutter's coming in at okay, he needs more separation on all his pitches. Because right now they're just 3 miles per hour off. Right. When you go four seam to cutter to change up, that's not enough.
Let's get that. I think change up at 82, cutter at 88, four seamer at 94.
Yeah. I do like this, his four seamer in his first spring outing, which holds all the weight.
Which holds all the weight.
He only hit the center middle of the zone. It was middle inside once on all of his fastballs. Cutter included. Wow, that's pretty good actually. Like 20 pitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19. That was one off. Story of my fucking life.
Every day with this guy. His projections this year from Baseball Reference at a 66% reliability. 111 innings, a 5.59 ERA. We're going to move past that. Over under 9.5 starts.
It seemed like an accident, what they said. Over.
Over by 1?
Yeah.
Bet the under.
Kind of in the story of your day.
But this is a good one because I know it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't think they have many other options. Especially, it's more roster manipulation if Luke Weaver is on your team.
Right.
And unless he turns into a lights-out reliever and you want him for a 1 or 2 inning role, if you need a spot start, if the schedule just calls for a break, you're not going to
He's the
want
guy.
to send someone down to call up Beater or Heel or someone. You're just going to go with the dude who's in the pen who can give you 3-inning spot start.
You can go
And
opener
go.
to Weaver.
And get Weaver. So, and then he might run into a stretch where someone's on the IL literally for 10 days or for a month, and he gets 3 in a row.
Right.
I just think it's ease of the transaction will lead to him getting some starts.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing that's kind of the X factor here is when does the injury bug strike the Yankees? Because let's say, knock on wood, as we record this, the Yankees have their rotation. Cole, Stroman, Rodon, Schmidt, and Nestor. If those 5 are healthy, coming out of spring, there's your rotation. If that crew, let's say they have a clear April, they get through the month of April, Luke Weaver probably not stretched out anymore. So that's when things would get interesting if Luke Weaver's at 30 pitches, because then you almost can't throw him out there as a starter. So he would almost get usurped.
Don't you think
by
they'll keep
someone.
him stretched out?
Well, I'd like that, but they kind of haven't done that in the past.
Yeah, but you're excited about them having a role that they haven't done, so that's what we hope they do.
That's what I hope they do, but I haven't seen them do that.
Can I
don't
read
believe
you?
they're gonna
Can I
do
read
that.
you Ian Hamilton's?
At the same time, Jim, if we do get an injury before camp, which is likely, they would give him like a Clark Schmidt-esque leash. Like he would get
Couple
April.
starts, yeah.
So he would get like 5 starts.
Can I read you
Sure.
Hamilton's first 4 appearances last year?
Do it.
36 pitches, 26, 37, 47. And then he had 2 short ones, and then it was 46, 29. And then he kind of settled in. But it did seem like they tried to use him for around 30. So if he's stretched out to 30 pitches or so,
Right.
I think they'd use him as a bulk opener role if push came to shove.
Yeah, I don't know. I
If it was
mean,
like a
that's-
spot start.
That's kind of a bullpen ruiner, which you'd want Luke Weaver to not be that.
Yeah, it would be,
You
hey, for this spot start, we're going to kind of go with the bullpen day instead of calling someone up and down. Because now they can only, there's options on some of these kids.
Yeah, it just gets tricky with off days and things like that. Like that's where hopefully they do keep him stretched out, because I'd rather, have Luke Weaver have a chance of giving you a successful outing of 5 innings even, than hoping to get 2 innings out of him. So keep him stretched out. That would be my request.
I like it.
I like it.
And show some personality? Or no?
Give us something. Okay. Separate yourself.
Separate yourself.
Always be talking to Cole or something.
Yeah. Cole's friend?
seen him do.
Well, not if he's in the pen.
If
That
he's
would
in
be
the
a bummer.
pen, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, him and Ron in the pen together.
That's a quiet section. Thanks for tuning in. We love you, Luke. Love you so much.
I have him exactly at 10.5 starts.
Ooh.
DJ's dead.
Look sad.
Subscribe.
Oh, thanks.